My name is Taylor. I'm with Cintas. I'm going to be going through your burn kit emergency training today. These are things that you have available at your facility. So, in the case of a burn incident, first couple of steps here. Number one is you're going to have someone call 911. The second step here is we're going to have someone go grab this burn kit. And the third one is you're going to take the person over to an area where you can wash and rinse that burn area with temp water, okay? So, as soon as this person brings the burn kit over to you, you're going to open it up, and I'm just gonna go through some of the things that are in your burn kit. So, in the case of emergency, you're prepared and you know what to do. A couple of different things in here that we have. The first one is going to be your large dressing here. Okay, it is about 24 by 16. It's a very large sheet. You could place this over really any area where there's that large burn. On the back here, we have some instructions. So if you're a little nervous, you don't know what to do, you can always look to the back. First thing is you're going to cut or tear this open, okay? In your kit, there is also a pair of trauma shears. So I'm gonna show us how we're gonna open that with the trauma shears here. You're going to pull that burn sheet out. You're then going to place it on the affected area. And then the last step, very important step here, is we're going to wrap it with gauze. So I'm gonna demonstrate that here. In any burn situation, any first aid situation, you wanna make sure that you're wearing your correct PPE. So I'm going to be putting my gloves on right now to demonstrate that for you. And again, with burns, you want to prevent any kind of infection. So having our gloves on is going to make sure that we're protecting ourselves and protecting that person. Once I get these gloves on, I'm going to cut open our pack here and pull this out so you can see what it will look like. Okay, I'm going to continue to cut this part a little bit. You do have also a secondary one of this as well. So again, you're gonna have two big burn packs here. All right. Okay, and I'm just going to place this over the chest area. It's very, very large. So as you can see, it's large. I'm just going to wrap it right around that. Okay, large burn area. And now I'm gonna grab my gauze. I'm going to, again, use my trauma shears. You can tear it, cut it, whatever works best in that situation that you can get to quickly. And I'm going to wrap this lightly around, okay? I don't wanna be too tight just because of swelling and things like that. I'm going to wrap this all the way around. And as you can tell, this is a very large sheet. So you might have to use more than one gauze here. And in your kit, there's actually going to be multiple gauzes. You're gonna have at least 3 in here. So again, you're gonna continue to wrap that around loosely. You would continue to grab more so that it's in place there, okay? So that's going to be your large burn sheet there. Like I said, you do have a secondary one in case you would need that. All right, moving on to the next one here, we have our multi-use. And this kind of, again, has those directions on the back. You're following the same things there. This gives you a little bit of pictures here at the bottom of where you could specifically place it. And it will show you the hand, the foot, the face, and the arm, okay? So we're gonna demonstrate what this would look like on the arm here. I'm going to use my trauma shears to cut this open. Cut it open here. Okay, so again, this is the size of that multi-use. Again, hand, foot. I'm gonna apply it right here on the arm. Again, I would grab some gauze, wrap that around loosely there. The next thing we have is specific to the face. Okay, so again, directions are gonna be located on the back there. You're going to pull it out. We're going to place this on the face area here. Okay, again, this is very, very large. All right, got the eyes and the mouth and the nose holes there. Gonna wrap that around. Now, just something to note, okay? Once you have this on, it is very large, it's going to wrap around the head. To keep it in place, you can again use that gauze, wrap it around the forehead, okay, to secure it. Just don't wrap it around the neck area there. All right, so that's gonna be our face burn shield. And then we have, sliding off there. Okay. Then we have our, again, kind of a multi-use. On the back, it's gonna show you that this one is used for the legs, okay? So it is your 8 by 18. I'm gonna pull that out so you can see the size of that. Okay, so it is going to be a little bit bigger than the one that we placed on the arm, but it's going to be smaller than that large sheet there. All right, and the last one we're gonna have is going to be, again, a very small, this could be used for hand, foot, really anywhere where you have a smaller area of burn. Okay, so let's say anything with your fingers, palm of the hand, things like that, you could use this smaller patch there, okay? Again, just some things to note, you do have roller gauze and you do have trauma shears within this, okay? The last thing that I say, if you have this on the person and you notice they become pale, sweaty, shaky, okay, they could possibly be going into shock. In that case, once you have the burn shield on them, you have the dressing placed, you could lay them down. And in your first aid cabinet, you have something called a foil blanket, okay? It just comes in this red emergency pack. I'm gonna open this up, okay? I'm gonna open it up, and it's a very large pack here. You would just wanna wrap this around the person. Again, they're gonna be lying down on the floor. At that point, it's to keep that kind of body temperature, core body temperature intact there. And you're just waiting for 911, the medics to arrive. You can talk to that person, make sure they're calm, you stay calm in that event, and wait for them to arrive. So that is how we use our burn shield kit here. Be safe, everyone.